Images like this have been a common sight since 2009 here in the state. But Vermont same-sex marriages are not recognized federally.
It's very scary to not have the same blanket of protections that married heterosexual couples have and have in an instant as soon as they get married.
Same-sex couples married in states that have passed marriage equality, like that of Vermont, can only receive state benefits. The Federal Defense of Marriage Act of 1996 defines marriage as between one man and one woman, which denies legally married same-sex couples here in Vermont the federal benefits of their married heterosexual counterparts.
If I lost my partner, I would not be entitled to Social Security survivor benefits, even though we both pay into the system. DOMA does not allow for that, so we're discriminated against.
Reverend Brendan Hadash of the Unitarian Universalist Church in St. Johnsbury is openly gay and married. The Reverend believes he is discriminated against when it comes to paying his taxes.
I have to fill out my federal taxes as if I'm a single person, and my local Vermont taxes as if I'm a married person.
The Vermont Attorney General's office joined both New York and Connecticut in filing a joint brief attempting to influence the federal policy through the court system.
They're essentially saying, well, that's fine, you can have same-sex marriage, but we're going to deem these folks unmarried for purposes of federal law. And that's a real intrusion on what the states are trying to accomplish.
Since the same-sex marriage law was passed in Vermont, over 2,500 same-sex couples have tied the knot compared to close to 14,000 heterosexual marriages. Of those 2,500 same-sex couples, only 35% are in-state residents. The other 65% have come from different parts of the country. Local wedding dress designer Tara Lynn says the average wedding costs between $1,000 and $10,000. Tara Lynn has worked on 2 gay weddings, and both of those came from couples from out of state.
I haven't noticed a big difference with Vermont customers, same-sex marriage, but I have had several customers from out of state.
The early economic advantage of out-of-state same-sex couples getting married in Vermont has eroded as other neighboring states, including Massachusetts and New York, have adopted same-sex marriage. As a result, the Vermont Gay Tourism Association has taken steps to attract more lesbian and gay couples to vacation in Vermont through target marketing.
I would like to see more same-sex marriage customers. I mean, for me, I see it as it's 2 wedding gowns. It's 2 sales. It's a great thing.
3 weeks ago, the Second Circuit Court of Appeals deemed part of DOMA as unconstitutional, signaling a possible continued legal battle headed for the Supreme Court.
I'm suspecting that they'll say the federal government cannot discriminate against states that decide to recognize gay marriages.
There's marriages that get full recognition, and then there's second-class marriages that only get state recognition. And if this part of DOMA is ultimately invalidated by the Supreme Court, then that'll mean that second-class status gets lifted.
While the Supreme Court can choose to ignore the case, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg believes that the issue could come before the Supreme Court within the next year. Justin Chenette, News 7.